Breakfast bars. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. I know consistency is key, but too often we literally find ourselves consistently doing the same thing and repeat. We wonder that thin line between perseverance and insanity. Do you keep believing in what you cannot see, or do you see what you have deemed unbelievable? Allow yourself to get to spaces to understand the unconceivable, literally the unconceivable things, because no one could dream past the essence of being, and literally don't know the wide open spaces needed to construct such places like home. We always see people do things so easily, but what's easily constructed is those who can easily tear them down with their tongues. We speak life and death so easily, but sometimes we cannot be freed to the own sense of our own calamity, because the adversity faced always seems to be what we chase, because we figure maybe perhaps that's proof that we are doing something to begin with, or perhaps even something to change. But I once wrote, you can build a new house on old dirt and the foundation is bound to crack. You can build a new relationship on old hurt, but the foundation is bound to crack. You can build on old, but something is bound to crack. You can continue painting over lines, but something is about to crack. You have to understand what it's like to get back to the moment of realizing that your beauty has nothing to do with what you portray or admit, but more so what you exude. And if your light does not shine bright enough, you might have found yourself too many times with your eyes tightly closed. And if you would just open them long enough to breathe in so deeply and understand that this has nothing to do with you, literally your experience, this moment, this test of mine is not my own, but more so something that I can show you to get through, because I have taken the course that maybe it been too coarse, but for some folk that paved roadway was never too easy to take, because some say the road to hell is paved in gold. And when you're not distracted by shiny things, you might seem to be misled, but some have been told that even the forest for the trees can't be seen by those who seem to wonder where the paper comes from, but never chases the whole sense of recycling. You keep recycling minds in hopes that maybe over time you can get your pace to the mindset of being able to run past the moments of life that were so uncomfortable, yet you always find yourself in travesties. Literally. Don't understand what it is to get your hands dirty, to construct something worth upholding. We can all go through life with the simplistic experience of microwave moments, where so easily we know if we do it like this, it'll be effective. But what happens when you do it from scratch? When you allow the flour to sift, when you allow the dirt to shift, when you allow the bloom to happen, when you see what happens when you boom out of the magic. There is something so amazing about doing it on purpose and not finding yourself feeling like you did all this work and it was worthless. We get to spaces where we understand our investments are to be returned on interest, but it's not interesting to see the work required to invest. It's not always the money that we get. It's more so the time that we spend, and we can never get it back. Like all those breaths we have taken for granted. Like all the breaths I have had in this set. These breakfast bars are just intended to give you something to hold on to for your day, to understand that you don't have to do the same. Hold your breath. Cower your back. Let your shoulders drop, not react. It's okay to feel. It's totally okay to show emotion, to let anyone in the room or no one around aware of the fact that tears do make sounds. It's just no one ever listens. They sound like crumbling bridges when London's peak finds the seeking moments of knowing that we have all been breaking down just so we could build ourselves up. The sense of our own security systems being breached. There is no brinks you could allow yourself to speak. I mean, literally, we can either bar ourselves in or we can allow ourselves to be freed. And so Rita understands this poetic locksmith that can keys, but there's a key element in understanding what it is to hold on to the fact that, see, creatively we allow ourselves to craft the beings of beauty, but we don't understand the necessary moments of knowing the ugly must be shown, because when your epidermis is shown, When the skin of your life is revealed, when you understand the real is more so the reality of your own sight, you get to a space of understanding that this plight had nothing to do with life, but more so the beauty of knowing how backgrounds would always be seen and foregrounds would only be foreseen, but the presence of your being could only be shown to those who would be exposed. It's not until you stop looking that you see. And too often people will continue finding that they keep looking and searching and hoping and wishing and not acknowledging what they have to begin with. And it's tragic because there are blessings in each of us. And there's so many blessings in you. And the fact that some people just don't have the view isn't your fault, nor is it theirs. It's just something about their lens is too stained for the glass to allow your light to do anything but blind.